streets are saying you are worthless. Let's investigate. What's up, guys? I'm here we are to do a nice little breakdown/discussion of the Satoru Gojo, the strongest sorcerer of the modern day. For now, whether or not that man, that beast, that monster, that demon was a worthless individual, overall completely invalid, and ultimately contributed nothing, very particularly in one means and metric, and it's the battle against Ryomen Sukuna, the king of curses, the strongest in history. If you've been around the fandom recently, due to Satoru Gojo's perishing and passing, being well established for quite a few months now, and naturally hype around his resurrection possibly building back up, questions have begun on whether or not Gojo was worth anything in the first place, after his loss to Ryomen Sukuna. So we have quite a hefty chunk to discuss and talk about, so let's not waste any more time and hop right into it. Editing me! Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do in fact happen to have it on me, and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. He's in half. Most likely in thirds. Possibly in fourths. Is that his left arm? I think it is his left arm. So that man is gone. That brother gone, if you will. He is cooked by the king of curses, Ryomen Sukuna. And of course, you know what that means. It means he lost. Like, no matter what. Of course. There are many different people. Gojo Glazers, especially. And as a Gojo Glazer myself, I know. A bunch of people go after Sukuna's tactics. Oh, he was fraudulent. Oh, he took Megumi's abilities. Oh, he's a Ten Shadows merchant. A Maharaka son, if you will. An Aito adherer. Something of the sort, no matter what. It does not matter when simply looking at the cold hard car facts. If you're purchasing this car from carfox.com, we're looking at the facts. And the fact is that Ryomen Sukuna won the battle. There's no other way we can put this. It doesn't matter how he won. It doesn't matter why he won. It doesn't matter if he would have lost in another universe, in another context. None of that matters. What we need to establish in the main JJK timeline is that by chapter 236 of the series, we are currently at 248 at the time of recording, Gojo Satoru is sliced in half. Because just like I have it on me, and keep it on me at all times, Ryomen Sukuna had it on him. And kept it on him. After he figured out how to have it on him and keep it on him at all times. So, naturally, this comes into question. Since Gojo won the one fight that we needed him to win for the series to have a nice, smooth, and buttery, at least decent ending. I can't say good ending. Too many characters have been knocked off the block to just say a good ending. Whether it be Nanami, whether it be Nobara, whether it be Megumi, whether it be anybody. Like, there are numerous characters of varying levels of importance who've all been knocked off the block already. Like Yuki Tsukumo, like there's so many different, well, not Kenjaku, but Suguru get, like, so many, well, to be fair, Suguru Getsu was an antagonist in JJK 0, so it's kind of rough with there. So a good ending, not necessarily, but at least a mostly decent ending with a lot of our main cast. Well, not a lot of our main cast, but a lot of characters still alive. Gojo fumbled this right here. The bag, annihilated. It don't matter that Ryomen Sukuna, the king of curses, said, "You were magnificent, Satoru Gojo. I shall never forget you for as long as I live." Even though they got a smile on Gojo's face, they ain't put a smile on anyone else's face, because they immediately had to hop in the conflict, hop in the battle, because Gojo Satoru lost. So, since he lost, the one fight that he definitely needed to win. Forget all the facts that the only other major fight he, like, definitively won was, like Jogo and Toji. But Toji had already completed his mission, ended up shattering fate, and Jogo lived and proceeded to toast alive a bunch more people that led to multiple consequences later down the line. So realistically, Gojo kind of won nothing. But in the one fight, we desperately, 100 million, billion, trillion, nonillion, duodecillion, needed to win for Satoru. Yeah, he lost. So now the streets are questioning, well, is it anything? Is he anything? is he just straight up worthless? Like, overall, just pound for pound on a narrative sense, since he accomplished basically nothing in terms of his main goal. Bro, his main promise from 221 that has been memed to the heavens and beyond, that's transcended other fandoms, and even reached Usher. I have no idea, but reached Usher. Like, the question is Gojo Satoru worth? Did he do anything against Sukuna that's actually permanent, that matters? Yeah, he did. So he's not fully worthless. But I do think that there's some things he's worthless about, in a sense. But overall, I still think Gojo Satoru did numerous things that are super duper important and have led to the current structure of the series as it is. And I don't think you can remove Gojo Satoru, whether that be keeping him in the box, aka skipping 221, or saying Sukuna actually dropped Angel when he had the chance, or something of the sort. I don't think there's any real way that you can remove this jolly blue-eyed fellow right here from the plot and make it so that things happen at all smoothly. He is super duper necessary and ultimately is not worthless. Let's go with the cold, hard, tangible Carfax. Once again, we were talking about the Carfax with Sukuna dropping Gojo. Let's talk about the Carfax of what Gojo took from Sukuna on the way out. Number one, the big thing he took from Sukuna. This bucko right here. Now, admittedly, we don't know. We do not know. Thanks to the extreme vagueness that Gege has tackled Sukuna's incarnation with, we have genuinely no idea. Bro looks fully fresh, fully juicy, as Kashimo himself says. Oh, how beautiful. So bro may just be back to max. We do not know verbatim. But in order to give Gojo Satoru something tangible, we're gonna have to say that he has lost the domain. That is just a thing he has 100% lost. It is cooked, scrambled, fried, however you like your food done, the domain is done. Thanks to that little itty bit, as the narrator declares, the amount of time that the limited void struck Sukuna totaled less than 10 seconds, but it was more than enough to quote Satoru Gojo himself, to have an effect. It did a little something and has seemingly locked off domain expansion. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm fully in the camp that if this guy, this silly little fellow right here, if he were to just start whiling, if he were to just sneeze a little bit too hard, and I don't know, hypothetically, waffle iron the whole, just straight throw it, like for whatever reason, if he were to just straight, boom, I still 100% believe he can get the effects of Malevolent Shrine for like 1/10 of the cursed energy. Absolutely and indubitably. Regular dismantles are still lethal to like everyone except the heavy hitters, and possibly even the heavy hitters if they're fully powered regular dismantles. But the main thing that Gojo hypothetically opened the door up to is removing the domain. And of course, for a character like Maki Zenin, that doesn't matter. Actually, no, ironically enough, it does matter. Because the thing that domain did, and will do, forever for Sukuna that no longer we may not be able to do if his brain is still all scrambled like some fresh juicy eggs on a wonderful Saturday morning, there's a high likelihood that bro cannot pop domain ever. Meaning that with Maki Zenin, the one thing she had to worry about in terms of the one domain in the entire series she'd have to worry about, which was Sukuna's, no longer a viable option. He can't do that. He's going to have to manually aim at her if he tries for anything, because while she is an inanimate object, she ain't that inanimate. In the sense that she can move and dodge regular dismantles, meanwhile in a Malevolent Shrine she couldn't. For Yuji Itadori, personally, I'm in the camp that bro has developed a little something. He's got a little bit, and he's got a little bit something shaking, as Sukuna himself asks, what just happened? So, who knows? He may have a little something. And of course, we've seen that bro is able to, he's able to do a little dancey dance. He's able to wiggle around some certain things. We've seen that bro has developed some sort of ability to block, redirect, and knock away individual slashes. But as we see very clearly, these slashes do have an effect on him when they're not hitting the gauntlets. And they do be doing something. Now imagine if this were a Malevolent Shrine. He ain't blocking them slashes with just the gauntlets. He ain't doing all that. Bro would be torn to ribbons, piece by piece, bit by bit. Even with that nice, juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious RCT, bro would be torn apart. So domain being gone, that's another good thing. And remember, we got two Two whole people. Remember, we do in fact have not one, but two hypothetical domain merchants, as we call them. We have the domain merchants in Yuta Okotsu and Hikari. Well, to be fair, Hikari Kinji's the main domain merchant. If you're gonna buy a domain from anybody, you're gonna want to buy it from Hikari Kinji, because he's gonna be able to throw 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and Sukuna cannot get rid of those as long as this is still canon. As long as bro's brain is still on fried mode, bro left it in the microwave a little bit too long, Hikari not necessarily has free jackpots, because Sukuna can still very easily attack a base Hikari while he's in Hikari's domain, but at least Sukuna can't just be like, oh, your domain is good in Tug of Wars, huh? How about you talk on these wars? And he just opens up domain, and then Malevolent Shrine collapses it from the outside, like Malevolent Shrine did with Limited Void. With this happening, that's off the table. Hikari can have multiple jackpot streams as long as he survives Sukuna for however long it takes him to hit jackpot. Which, admittedly, is much easier now that Sukuna doesn't have Malevolent Shrine. And of course, for all my Yuta Yuckers out there, my Okotsu absorbers, what was the one I came up with? I think it was Yuta Yuckers. But with that being the case, for all my Okotsu people out there, bro has a domain expansion. Do you know what that means? He can use domain expansion on a guy who can't use domain expansion, meaning his domain expansion, which is most likely a sure hit domain expansion. I'm going to say domain expansion so many times it's going to lose all meaning. But with that being the case, Yuta Okotsu could now throw it up. He can throw it up without having fear of Sukuna being able to throw it up right back. Meaning that now domain expansion is an actual viable option against Sukuna when it wasn't for Satoru Gojo, because Satoru Gojo didn't play his cards right. But still, Satoru Gojo ended up taking that card off the table, meaning that domains are now open. They're possible. And of course, a certain farmer did not have a domain to save him. Oh gosh. But a certain farmer didn't have a domain to save him. That ain't matter. Because now we have other people who are farmers, who have domains that can save them. In the case of Yuta Okotsu and Akari Kenji. And maybe even Yuji Tadori if he develops a domain. And Maki is not developing a domain. That is not happening. Unless she reveals that you can domain expansion with a curse tool. That's not happening. But still, that's really, really good stuff. That's only open, only on the table, because of Gojo Satoru. So there's one thing. That pretty much immediately knocks the worthless arguments out of contention. But there's another thing that Gojo Satoru did that's super duper pivotal, which is kind of a two-stage thing, but I'll take it at one at a time. Let's take a look at this. Y'all remember Ahito? There's Ahito. Y'all remember Ahito? Yeah, all those things are cooked. The 10 Shadows, worthless. In a sense. Personally, I'm in the camp that if Sukuna still does have 10 Shadows, or Megami gets saved, or whatever, and 10 Shadows do come back, they can definitely still be useful. Like, sure, Maharaga does get absolutely and insanely atomized by the end of 235. Like, we literally see his wheel disappear. But he could be fueled back into the other 10 Shadows. But at least, they don't have to deal with that anymore. Ahito, a fusion of numerous shadows, cooked, wiped from existence by a big old blue. Maharaga, the strongest Shikigami in the entire series, only really being contested by Rika Orimoto, the queen of curses, cooked. Quite literally, vaporized, atomized, discombobulated in every way, shape, and or form. And Gojo Satoru did that. Realized that if Gojo Satoru was not there, and he didn't start hitting that face, Paramita, Pillar of Light, if he didn't start popping off like that with them big old blue eyes, then they have to deal with Sukuna, who could still use 10 Shadows. Now, of course, I'm still low-key hoping and coping that we're gonna see some sort of crazy 10 Shadows merger fusion up against a certain Queen of Curses. Like, low-key, a crazy Maharaga conglomerate, or like 10 Shadows conglomerate, the Divine Dogs, infused with Nue, infused with the Orochi, infused with the Brown Deer, the Morning Tiger, Maharaga. Like, low-key, I do kind of want to see that pop off against Rika, really see the Ultimate Shikigami versus the Ultimate Shikigami, but, once again, to just give Gatsuru Gojo? What was I even going to say there? To give Gojo Satoru some more points, he's taken 10 Shadows off the table. He's just done that by wiping out all their original solid forms. Meaning if Sukuna brings out anything, it's going to be fresh. including any reinfused Maharaga, which is very, very good. Our cast was not rocking or socking with 235 Maharaga. This man was on some different kind of timing. Out here reacting and blocking 4 Black Flash, well, not, I think that's 3, but 3 Black Flash fresh off the sauce Gojo Satoru. Like, this guy was a monster, a beast, and a demon. No matter what Yuta Kotsu said, unless bro's whipping out the inverted spear of heaven or Angel's technique, it was not going to be an easy fight pulling up on Big Raga, the Op Stomper. But the Op Stomper got stopped by the Oppa, which was Gojo Satoru. He took that off the table. Speaking of another thing that Gojo Satoru just hard took off the table, this guy right here. You may be wondering, Pencil Man, what you mean by that? Ain't you just have like a whole 5-minute opener talking about how this man did not get rid of this man? Ryomen Sukuna is still alive. And yes, you're right. Ryomen Sukuna is still in fact alive. But not this one. The Ryomen Sukuna that's alive is this fella. This handsome little guy right here. You see his cute little face? It's not cute nor little. It barely counts as a face. It's kind of two. But with that being the case, you see this guy? That's not Meguna. That's not Megami Body Sukuna. That's Heian Body Sukuna. And remember why he incarnated into this form. Because bro ran out of juice, as it's stated.
Sukuna has a way to repair flesh only once, besides reverse curse technique. He can do so by resuming transformation as a curse taking fleshly form, which he had purposely interrupted before.
Meaning that Gojo Satoru burnt through the entire first health bar. Of course, part of the credit definitely goes to Kashimo Hajime here for actually forcing Sukuna to incarnate. Bro was made to, he could no longer RCT. But who was the person that threw the meanest, smoothest, and butteriest layup to Kashimo? Who was like, Kashimo, catch this one, put him on a poster. It was the madman, Gojo Satoru, who unleashed the unlimited hollow that had Meguna looking like this. All barefoot, stumpy, hand gone, looking nice and crispy. Looks like you could eat him with a little bit of honey mustard and a butter biscuit. Some fries on the side, a little bit of Cajun sauce. Not Cajun sauce. Cajun sprinkled all over it. Cajun pepper? Cajun seasoning? Whatever. Essentially, Sukuna was looking crispy. Delicious. And of course, the same crispy and delicious Sukuna lit this man up immediately afterwards with the World Slash. But still, the fact that that is something that had to happen, that Gojo Satoru knocked Sukuna's health bar down so low that bro explicitly could not RCT anymore. We literally see it throughout 237. Bro was so low on juice, he could not heal any other way but incarnating. That is something that is only possible because of the madman known as Satoru Gojo. I don't think I need to convince you that if Meguna still had a full health bar and then this, it don't matter about Kenny. This is not happening. If bro still had a full health bar, if he went in fresh against Kashimo, y'all see how Kashimo's getting manhandled? Literally, man, like Sukuna was straight treating bro like a child, grabbing his wrist like he was a petulant little individual and slamming him on the ground and tossing him around. Bro was the oldest cousin at the family cookout, launching the babies around, just throwing them halfway across the yard. Like, he was literally bullying Kashimo. He would have done the same thing as Meguna if he wasn't on 2 HP. Indubitably, undeniably. Of course, I'm in the camp that Heian era Sukuna has better physical stats than Meguna. But if you aren't, a lot of the fandom seems to not be. Everyone thinks all the Sukunas are the same, regardless of whatever physical body-based stuff. Then yes, a full health Meguna would have ragdolled Kashimo in the same way that a not full health true body Sukuna has ragdolled Kashimo. So Gojo did that. He set up the layup. He did all that, which makes it so that Gojo Satoru isn't worthless. Because without this, Kashimo would have been cooked even quicker. Everyone else would be cooked too. Because realize, by forcing Meguna to incarnate into original body, not only did he burn that revive card, his reboot card, cooked, spent. Urume's not picking that up anymore. He is gone, except for that final finger. We'll talk about the final finger another day. I've already talked about the final finger another day. But still, we aren't worried about that. The main 20-finger Sukuna that we all know and fear, and many people love, Yeah, he's very specifically reduced to this. Now, of course, true body Suguna doesn't really count as a reduction, but the first health bar is gone. And it wouldn't be gone without Gojo Satoru. So, of course, those are the big boys, right? He took out Sukuna's domain, he knocked that one right out the way. Okay, he took away the 10 shadows, vaporizing Maharaga, absolutely annihilating Aito. Regular stuff, right? Pressing Maguna, all that good stuff. He forced Maguna to incarnate, all this stuff. Well, admittedly, Kashimo did that, but still, he put Maguna on such a low HP point that he couldn't RCT anymore, and he has to incarnate. He burnt down Sukuna's cursed energy reserves, had bro pulling out the baby, right? Like, all this is real good stuff. But of course, the contributions have to end there, right? Like, you can't do anything else from beyond the grave, right? Like, bro, he's not like that for. But I need y'all to hear me out. Unironically, in a way, I think Gojo falling the way he did in 236 may have actually delayed the merger. And you may be wondering, what do you mean, pencil? Realize that the reason Kenny was so off guard to the point where this could happen to bro, to the point where Tagaba could roll up, get man all nice and giggling, get him cracking up just like Jin had Kenjaku cracking up before Kenjaku cracked open cover. But regardless, the reason that Kenny got cracked up and his guard so low is because Gojo Satoru got live on air, live on camera. Kenny likely would have not been playing no games with Takara if he knew Gojo Satoru could pop up at any moment. By Gojo Satoru getting slashed in half, reduced to atoms. Okay, not reduced to atoms. He ain't the Infinity Stone. But still being He's an Infinity, and I feel like we could turn him into a rock. We just have to break him up into more pieces. What, he's in 4 right now? Because the 2 arms, then the top half and the bottom half. So we just gotta, take the head and, actually, no, we could just split the leg. Split the leg straight down the middle. And then, boom. No, that's 5. Then we may need to remove the head. Yeah, because then it'd be 2 legs, 2 arms, torso, and head. We could get 6 Infinity. But regardless, the fact that Kenny was so off guard comes from the fact that Gojo was gone. So even while bro was in the afterlife, yapping it up with the original owner of this Kenny's body, he was setting up his students for the smoothest and most buttery layup possible to get their next top op nice and off guard, so base Yuta could come in and take that boy's dome right on off. Without Gojo Satoru, that just was not happening. That is a clean, buttery layup. Just like Kashimo got the smoothest layup this side of the Mississippi to immediately get waffle iron, but to knock Sukuna down to the point where bro was forced to incarnate. Hey, Yuta Okotsu, he got a nice buttery layup from his teacher, from his long-lost family member. That's some real good stuff. But here's the thing. It don't even stop there. Remember what Sukuna said at the end of chapter 236. Hey, broski, I ain't gonna lie to you right now. This blue-eyed, white-haired man got me feeling some type of way. So do me a favor. I feel great. Don't you dare spoil it. Sukuna's in a very nice and charitable mood. Bro's feeling nice and lighthearted. All this is because of one man, Gojo Satoru, who gave him a real nice battle, a real cute little scuffle, and got him to evolve his technique in a way he never thought he could evolve it before. All this is because of the invulnerability and the infinity of Gojo Satoru, his great legendary power, this beautiful fish, like the freshest piece of sea bass straight from the water, to be cooked and prepared in such the most wonderful and scrumdiddlyumptious way. It's what put Sukuna in such a playful mood, such a wonderful mood. And let me tell you, if Sukuna was in any less of a joyful, playful, and scrumdiddlyumptious heel-clicking mood, none of these characters are surviving as long as they have. I want you to realize, I say this, and I know some people aren't going to like it, but I'm going to say it verbatim. If Sukuna was in a bad mood, I'll be honest with you, this would not have happened. He wouldn't have lost Kamutoke. He would have sneezed the cleave right in Higuruma's direction, and he would have been sliced in half. Hikari, head lopped off. Itadori, head lopped. If he was really feeling just a little bit devious, a little bit bored without the nice warm up and that sweet scrumptious dish, and he's just here waiting and enjoying the little bits of dessert, if he didn't have Gojo Satoru, all these characters will be wiped. All of them. All of them. Once again, like I mentioned, we see explicitly that while Yuji Itadori has developed some sort of resistance or some sort of perception to the slashes, bro himself can still get sliced. Once again, these are casual dismantles. Bro's not explicitly trying to just off everybody. He's not throwing the waffle iron at Mach 12. Like, this waffle iron was moving at FTL speeds. He was not playing with Kashimo, because Kashimo specifically wanted that. But still, he wasn't playing with Kashimo. If Sukuna decided to not be playing with everybody else here, they'd all be cooked. They'd all be cooked. He would have even put himself in this situation where Higuruma could have gotten this domain expansion off. There would have been no way, no universe, where this could have actually transpired. Where they would have had a full genuine trial, and Sukuna, accidentally, would have given up Kamutoke. And then be put in a situation where he now has to rely on his own cursed energy and his own hands. He would have just... I call it the baby rattle, but it'd be the most dangerous baby rattle in history versus the most dangerous baby rattles of today, as he would just boom, and then everyone would be fried. Need to remind you, Kamutoke was so powerful that it had Hajime, I repeat, Hajime Kashimo, you know, the guy who's literally lightning, still take damage from it. Like, it's so weird to think about, but it's kind of in a similar vein to how Jogo got lit on fire, despite being the fire guy. Kashimo didn't no-sell Kamutoke. You can see he still took damage. Bro was still scratched up by Kamutoke. And he has the best Kamutoke resistance in the series. Outside of, like, Gojo, because Gojo wouldn't be affected by it. But, like, he has the highest innate Kamutoke resistance in the series because he's literally lightning. And he still took damage from it. Bro, even after incarnating into his own extreme powerful form, still had to dodge Kamutoke. So if this was still on the table, if Sukuna was feeling a little bit more serious, then he wouldn't have lost this, and he'd be literally cooking everybody with Kamutoke. He would literally be in a scenario where everybody that came at him would not be amusing, would not be entertaining, they'd all be sliced to ribbons. He'd be grabbing them all like marmots and just tearing through them with cleaves. He'd be throwing out dismantles left and right. He'd be knocking them all down. He wouldn't be so playful. He wouldn't be so lenient with the fact that bro was just given the opportunity to start the merger and be so patient by being like, you know what? First things first. I'm a realist. Second things second. I'll play with Tengen in a bit. I'll hold off for a bit. What I really want is to slaughter all of you and crush all your foolish little hopes. So, all of this, the freeform nature, the relaxation, the survival, the loss of Kamutoke, the incarnation, the loss of the 10 shadows, the loss of the domain, all of that is the responsibility and results
of one man. And that man is not, it's not Kashimo. It's definitely not Kashimo. It is Gojo Satoru. So sure, indubitably, Gojo did 100 million, billion, trillion, anillion, quintillion, duodecillion, lost the fight. He did. It don't matter. I can make however many videos on how I think Gojo could have won, how the story could go if Gojo could have won, this, that, and the other. And who knows? Gojo could literally resurrect next week. I don't know. Like, he could literally rise from the heavens next week and prove and outdate this video instantaneously. But at least for right now, Gojo Satoru did fall. He did lose. He did leave everybody behind and failed to keep one of his many promises, as is natural to the man with the world in his hands who could not do anything to serve it. But in the end, Gojo Satoru was not worthless, for he has allowed the situation where the king of curses can be felled in the first place, whether it be by the blades of those who rise against him, or by it be by his own arrogance and hubris born of a very light and very good mood. And honestly, I think that's a lot more than a lot of other characters can claim. And I think that makes Gojo Satoru just worth something. However, that's what I think. Please see what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a little itty bitty tiny favor. Leave
well, no, the infinite purpose. Well, you don't have to have but like infinite purpose in the comment section down below. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Trust me, you want to hit it. I swear, like, YouTubers that I've been subbed to for years just stop appearing in my sub box. I don't know what happened. So, like, you want to hit that notification bell. Actually, I'd be hitting the whole notification bell now. But make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reaction to the very next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, along with ad-free variations of all my videos, and even more fun stuff coming soon. But I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Connor Plays, Red Wolf 4765, Greyhound, and Atkins Void. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons: Victor, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Gemlord, Metal Solid Crisis, Kevin, Igneal, and Demix LND. I'd like to give another thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. I'd like to give another chunk of thank you to our $10 patrons: Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, Idemokami, and China Doll 09. I'd like to give a fat, juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious thank you to our wonderful $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another hefty, defty, trifty, nifty thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.